talking about bathrooms, specifically how to make a very boring, uninspiring bathroom look nicer, a place that you're actually excited to use every day. Personally, I feel like bathrooms are, something that I neglected for a really long time. Like, I did pay attention to how my skincare is displayed because I really love skincare, but I didn't really pay attention to the rest of the space as much until maybe last year. And once I did the space, and now that it looks so beautiful, it's made such a huge impact on my mood every day. I'm so much more excited and inspired by it, and I wanted to share just a couple of things that I've done. For context, I'm talking about my personal bathroom. Nobody else really uses it, which will influence some of the things that I'm going to talk about, but most of these things could be applied to any type of bathroom. I do live in a UK new build, and they have a very particular aesthetic. Like, they're all built very similarly. I try to work with the constraints of what I can and cannot change, and I think the outcome was really nice. To give you a bit of context, I'm very new to YouTube, but I do run an interior design page with my partner Marco, and it's called Taro's House. It's named after our Chihuahua Taro, who's actually sat behind me again on the bed. I don't know if you can see him, he's right there. But yeah, we've been sharing our home for a couple of years now, and recently I decided to take on more long format YouTube videos because I think it just allows me to talk about things that I love in a lot more depth. Last week I shared a video about this bedroom and how I did it up. It used to be just a white empty box, and if that's something that you're interested in, you can watch it after this video. I also have a very exciting announcement at the end of the video, so I hope you'll stay till then, but let's talk about bathrooms. We don't really have a set aesthetic in any of our spaces. I think all of them are very different. When it comes to designing a space, I go completely based on mood of the space. So for example, our living room is quite stimulating. It has loads of colors, lots of textures, some softer materials, some more tougher materials like metal. In contrast, the bedroom is a lot less stimulating, a lot softer. You have a lot of paper, a lot of linen. With the bathroom, I'll show you a picture of what it looked like initially. I really did like the tile, although it's not something that I picked. I think it was really nice. I also don't really mind the hardware. It's nothing fancy, but it's functional. So there's silver hardware, and there was this very, I don't really know how to describe this color, but this tile that was pretty much taking up, I want to say like 60% of the walls, because it's everywhere in the shower area and then right up to the ceiling, and then on the other side I have it like a little above the sink, so maybe up into like that height. So there was very little wall space, and for the longest time I thought that I'll leave it be because it's not a huge bathroom, and maybe the white was actually matching the white sink and all the other bits in the space. But over time I came to realize that the white was clashing with the tile because it's quite a huge contrast, and I wanted to make it more moody. If I had a natural source of light in this bathroom, then I think I would have gone for a completely different aesthetic and mood. But because there are no windows and it's just an exhaust, which is very common for UK builds, I find this really frustrating, especially if you're living in like a building in an apartment. They usually do put the bathroom more on the inside so that the other rooms have lighting. It does make sense because I guess I would rather have natural light in other living areas. There's nothing really I could do about the fact that it doesn't have a window, so I try to think of spaces that don't usually have windows but still feel really calming. And I think the first thing that came to my mind is like massage parlors or spas. There are some high-end massage places that I've been to in London, and spas that have this very beautiful like earthy feeling to them. I think the scent, the colors, the textures are all so beautiful, and that is what inspired the color palette of the bathroom. So I went for colors that complemented the existing tile, but it was a little bit lighter so that I could tie in with other things in the room. Because it already has that tile as the dominant feature, I didn't want anything else to be too dominant. So I tried to add multiple smaller accent colors and pieces instead of like this one accent color or feature. The one thing that I feel like made the biggest difference in this space is the addition of this mirror. This is actually not a bathroom mirror, and I will say this before I continue. Most of the furniture that I've ended up using in the bathroom did not come in the bathroom section. A lot of it is from IKEA and it's not in their bathroom section, but I used metal. I tried to specifically stick to metal for most of it because it is just the easiest to clean and doesn't get eroded as easily as some of their other materials. But I don't see why I have to stick to like the traditional bathroom cabinetry and furniture, because a lot of them are really uninspiring. Adding this massive mirror made the room feel so much bigger, and getting ready there is actually so nice. I think playing around with mirrors can be so interesting in bathrooms because it doesn't have to be the inbuilt one with the cabinet. You can have a cabinet off to the side like I've done in the past, but I really think that having a flatter mirror up against the wall also gave me a little bit more room in with the sink, because if there was something like protruding from the wall, it would be harder for me to like wash my face in the morning because it's like right there. I've had that before. It was not a big issue, but I just feel like this is so much nicer. The downside to this is that if you are messy with water, which sometimes I am when I'm washing my face, it does splash onto the mirror, so I need to keep it clean more often. Like I need to just like give it a wipe every now and then, but I'm very good at always like using a lime scale spray because we have very bad issues with like lime scale with our water, so that's something that I have to do anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference. But if that is something that would bother you, I would say go for a mirror that is maybe slightly smaller so you can hang it a little bit higher. Lighting is the second thing I want to talk about. I don't mind overhead lighting as much as long as they are warm, and this bathroom did come with overhead lighting that is warm. I've kept these because I think I mean, as much as I like having low light when I'm either, I don't know, doing my skincare or I'm just having a nice bath, but I don't like dim lighting when I'm in the shower because obviously you want to make sure you're clean and you need light if you're shaving, etc. So I kept the overhead lighting, but I added two extra lights, and these I got them off of Amazon. I am happy to link them down below. They are so cute. They are rechargeable, so you need to take it off the wall and charge it every now and then. To be honest, I only use them if I'm like in the mood of like lighting a candle, doing my skincare and like doing the whole process, or if I'm having a bath or I have guests over and I want to create a bit of ambiance. It's not something that I use every single day because I do find the overhead a lot more practical, but it's a very good way to get some ambient lighting in a space where you can't really add like table lamps or floor lamps. And in the UK you don't have outlets, so you can't really have those type of lights in there, so I find this really nice. Hanging space is something that I don't know, these builders don't really account for. There's not a single hook, nothing. I guess that's something you need to add yourself, but I did maximize the hanging space because I don't know, I feel like it's so impractical to be in a bathroom where there's no place to like hang your towel or clothes that you're gonna put on after. First I added these very cute wooden hanging things for towels. I think they are so pretty. Again, I got them on Amazon. I can link them below. Other than that, I use the back of the door as hanging space. So I've got this from IKEA and they do quite a few different designs. I just got the most basic one that they had a few years ago, and I think it seamlessly blends into my door, so you can't really tell it's there. I also hang my, I don't know what it's called, but a thing to get rid of water from your glass. I hang it just on the glass itself. I got one that was actually nice to look at, so I don't have to like put it away, and it just stays on the side of my shower. Storage is something that I struggled with the most because I really hate what traditional bathroom cabinets look like. For the shower, I used another piece that I think is made for kitchens. It's also from IKEA. It's this black unit, and this is where I keep all my shampoo, conditioner, everything that I use every single day in the shower, but it's on the opposite wall, so the water doesn't get to it as much. I give it a wipe every now and then if I do see that there is like any water, but other than that, it's tucked away in the corner so it doesn't really get wet, and I've had it for, I want to say, 5 years now, and I've never seen any issues with it. For my skincare, I have these two units. These are definitely not meant for the bathroom, and I actually don't think these are very practical because they don't have doors, and I know that a lot of people might have issues with this. One, because it might be a lot of work to maintain this. Secondly, some people might find it unhygienic. I personally am the only person who uses this bathroom, and I make sure that my seat is always closed when I'm flushing or anything like that, and I am very meticulous with everything I use. So that's why I did decide to have these open shelving units. Otherwise, I would have gone for something closed 100% if I was using it with loads of people. The reason I went for this is because I find this setup so good to actually use every single thing that I have, because it's right there. I feel like I'm standing in front of like a little shop and I get to pick my skincare every single day. I noticed that I end up using a lot more products, different types of products, and I'm a lot more excited to use them because I don't have to keep like reaching out and looking for different things. It's a very practical solution for me, but it might not be so practical for everyone. Hardware, I don't really have much to say because like I said, I kept whatever came. I don't specifically hate it or love it. The sink is a little bit too small for me. The shower heads are really, really nice. I did change my shower head because of the hard water issue. I was losing so much hair. I don't know if it's helped, to be honest. I can't tell you because I feel like it's on and off. I've done so many things to try and help my hair and it's in a very good state now, but I don't know what exactly worked. I'm just too scared to stop doing any of the things that I'm doing because I'm scared that I'll start going bald again. Let's talk about cleaning because I think I've mentioned it every now and then, but it's something that is very important to keep in mind. Even though it looks like there's a lot of things to clean up, it's actually very easy. I keep some spray and a roll of like kitchen roll in the bathroom all the time because every time I'm done showering, I first use that little thing to like take down all the water, and then I have a normal spray and a lime scale spray that I spray every now and then, and I also use it to clean my mirror and my sink like every other day after I'm done using it in the morning. So having those things ready to go really does help. Just do it as I'm using the space instead of dedicating a lot of time to it. But I do like a deep clean, I think every week on the weekend, if not like every 4 or 5 days. I would then do the floors. I have long hair, so you could imagine the floors are always covered in hair, but washing the bathroom rug and things like that, I'll do it like in maybe every 10 days because again, I'm the only one using it. It doesn't really get that dirty. I think more than anything, it's important to think about how you specifically use a space before changing anything about it. For me, I thought about all the things that I love to do in the bathroom. Skincare is top priority. That's why I put all that time and effort curating these shelves. And second is I love showers that are not very overwhelming, so I didn't want too many things around the shower, just the bare essentials and a really good shower head. I wanted a lot of hanging space. I wanted really nice soft bath rug. I wanted good amount of storage. I have all my underwear in the bathroom, including my socks, although I don't use my socks, but it just came with a 3 unit, so I've just put all 3 there. But I like to just wear my underwear and then put on a robe and then do the rest of my moisturizing and stuff in the bathroom. So I think that was really practical for me. And that's why I feel like you really have to think about all the things that you use a space for and then go backwards. These are simply things that I've done, but I really encourage you to think about, what makes you happy, what would get you excited to use the space. To me, the bathroom is such an important space for self-care. It's where we take care of our body, our skin, and for me, even my mind, because it really calms me down, and I wanted to put the effort into this space so that I am encouraged to look out for myself more and just feel more at peace whenever I'm using it. I really hope that these tips were helpful, especially if you're not planning to do like a whole renovation project. The things that I talked about, I feel like it's pretty much possible to do over like a weekend. A quick paint job, some new furniture, some new shelving, and that's it. I talked about something exciting at the beginning of the video and I want to share with you. This is my book. It's called Grounded, a home inspired by the rituals of coffee. It's just released this month. I cannot believe I'm showing you this. So, ta-da! I spent majority of last year writing this book and I can't believe it's already out and so many people already have it, and it's It was a labor of love. I have published this, I would say, semi-independently, because the publisher I worked with was so small. I didn't even have an editor. I just had a proofreader and a dream, a very good designer who helped me with the layout and everything. But it was a complete labor of love, and I really hope that you'll enjoy it. It talks about all my personal philosophies when it comes to interior design and living. I have an entire chapter here about being unfiltered, which is about embracing conflict in space and self. I want to do a full video breakdown about the book at some point, so I don't want to go too much into it. But if you enjoy my perspectives and the things that I share, then I would really appreciate you supporting my journey as an author, because this is just the first book. I hope to write a lot more. I think that's everything. I think the next video will be about either our home cafe or maybe like a styling series, because I really want to talk about styling shelves, coffee tables. So maybe that'll be like a slightly different series, because this is about small space living, and there could be a different one about styling. I'm working on these concepts, but if there's anything that you want me to talk about, any specific things that come to mind, please leave them down below. If you've listened to this whole video, then please do subscribe and let me know what you thought about today's videos. Are you going to implement any of these? Did you find any of them interesting? I'd love to know, and I'll see you next time.